guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah foundation review, and that is the Sephora foundation. This is the 10-hour Wear Perfection foundation. I am really excited to try this out because this is the cheapest foundation at Sephora. It retails for $20. You guys know Sephora is a very luxurious makeup store that sells a lot of luxury products. So I figured I would give this one a go. It also has a really great shade range. So I was like, let's just do it. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the primer by Sephora. It's the Sephora Beauty Amplifier Mattifying H2O Gel Primer. And I feel like gel consistencies work really well with people that have oily skin. Just like my moisturizer by Estee Lauder, it's more of a gel-like consistency. And I feel like those things are really good. So this one is the same thing, and I like the fact that it's H2O, so it's a really good ingredient for the skin. We're just going to be taking a little bit of this, and this is what it looks like. I actually wasn't expecting it. I thought it was going to be clear, but it's kind of like a pinkish color. And it is a little bit thicker, so let's see how this performs. I'm just going to apply it on this side. So I'm definitely seeing that as soon as I apply it, you can see it kind of mattify. You see the big difference between this side and this side. It feels like it just pasted my face like straight. Also kind of like smooths a little bit. Like I feel like it's smoothing over my texture right now. I have like some irritation on my skin. So I'm gonna take a little bit more and apply it on this side of my forehead. Really get in the T-zone area. That's where I have the most problems. You know what I may do? I may do one side with the primer and one side without the primer, just because I want to see the capability of this primer. Because I feel like it would make a big difference, because this side already feels so different than this side, and I feel like this has a little bit of a shine coming through, and this is just like matte. This primer was like $15, I think, so it wasn't really that expensive either. Okay, so this side we're not going to do primer, we're just going to do the moisturizer, and we're going to see how this side primed works compared to this unprimed side. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking the Sephora foundation. This is in the color Medium Walnut Neutral 33. And it has a nice pump, which I've always appreciated. I really like Sephora's whole concept. I like the fact that they have a large shade range. Whenever people would walk into Sephora when I used to work there and ask for a foundation that was affordable, that looked nice, I always refer them to this stuff because it was a cheaper alternative than everything else in Sephora. But it also had such a good selection that it was easy for me to shade match people. So I really always appreciated that, and they always really love the finish of it, so I think that's a really good situation. So this is what it looks like. It definitely has a little bit more of a moussey moisturizing consistency. It's not a thick consistency. It still looks really nice and fresh. It slightly reminds me of the type of consistency that the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation has, where it's not like thick, but you still do get that nice coverage. Now, I don't know how good this is going to be on coverage on me, but on everybody that I've tried it on, it's looked phenomenal. So I'm going to be using my Morphe sponge, and I'm just going to be applying this, dotting it. First, I'm starting off with the side that we primed, and then with the brush, we're going to do the side that we didn't prime. But I think this color is looking good, so let's see. And it's a 10-hour wear foundation, and I will be wearing it for 10 hours. So I'm looking for a really good setting spray. I haven't tried many. I've tried the, which one is it? I've tried the Milani one, but it has alcohol and it caused irritation, so I stopped using it. I have the First Aid Beauty one, which I really like because it's really nice on my skin type. I also have tried some Urban Decay ones. I think it's the one that's for oily skin. I don't think I've really used the All Nighter that much, but people swear by that. I was actually looking for reviews on it, and it seemed to be doing really good. But that covered really quickly, as you can see. And the color is pretty freaking spot on. Do you see that? It's spot on to my neck and everything. It kind of reminds me of how the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, how like spot on that color is on me. That's what this reminds me of. I like it. And it feels really lightweight on the skin. Like you can still see a little bit of my redness right here, But overall, it feels really good on the skin, and it's not like looking like fake. It actually looks like I have like a slight powder over the foundation. Do you guys see how flawless this looks? And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it on my nose, just on this side. But I'm really interested to see how it's gonna look on the side with a brush, just because that's the side that we didn't prime. I wonder if it's gonna make a big difference us not having primer on. Okay, so this is the foundation on this side, completed. It looks so good on camera. It just looks like it's my skin. Like, it looks really perfected skin. You can see the big difference with the redness and not redness. I feel like with the second layer on the cheek area, definitely covered all that redness that I wanted it to cover. So it's definitely a buildable foundation. It's not necessarily like full blown, like full coverage right away, at least for me with this little situation of redness I have going on. But if you have more of that evened out skin on you, you're not gonna need that much product. But even so, I did use like 1.5 layers because I did go in with the second layer in the middle, and it still feels really good on my skin. It doesn't feel like I have a lot of product on. So now I'm gonna move on to this side of my face. So I am going to be using the Delium Tools brush, which is my favorite brush at the moment. And I'm going to just be putting some foundation on the back of my hand. Okay, that coverage though, that's really good coverage. Wow, I picked like spot on good color. This legit matches my neck to the T. Okay, here I feel like it covered immediately everything. Do you see? But I do feel like here it looks more glowy than this side. This side looks a little bit more soft matte. I don't want to say it's like completely matte because I can still see some gradients, but it's more of a soft matte. This side is just looking like glowy. So that's why I say that I feel like it would work for all different types of skin type, because if you prep it the right way for oily skin, it will work the right way for oily skin. But if you prep it for dry skin, I'm seeing the dry skin benefits of it. Once you kind of pat the product in, you start to see that it looks a little bit less not oily, but less dewy. So I would say if you have oily skin, just pat that product into your skin. Okay, personally, I feel like with the brush, it covered quicker, faster, and you didn't need a second layer for the areas that were still uncovered. So I would say if you want full coverage immediately, then definitely use a brush. If you're more into like building it up and you don't mind kind of like sitting there for a little bit and just kind of playing around with it, then I would suggest using the sponge. So far, I do have to say, I really am enjoying it. I feel like for a $20 foundation, this is looking pretty good, like just by right off the bat. So I have to say, it did a really good job of minimizing my pores on this side. I feel like they're a tad bit more noticeable on this side, but still they don't look as noticeable as they usually do with other foundations. So that's something that I like. Now, the skin looks so good. It looks so healthy, and it doesn't look like you're wearing a foundation. I know sometimes with certain foundations, you can see like the cakiness in there, or you can see that there's like a layer of something on top of the skin, and this just blends right into the skin so nicely and so seamlessly that it gives you that almost like your skin but better feel. So I'm gonna go and finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first impressions on how this is looking with the rest of my products, how it blended in, all of that jazz, and then we can go ahead and start our 10-hour day and see if this Sephora foundation is worth the $20. So it's been like around 35 minutes since I last saw you guys, and I think I have some really good thoughts on this Sephora 10-hour wear foundation. So far, I have to say that it worked pretty well with all my products. The only issue I did notice is that when I was applying bronzer, I used my KKW contour kit. I had like a brain freeze. Contour kit in medium, and I applied here with this fluffy brush by Peach Pro Brushes. And it was a little rough right here. I feel like it kind of removed some of the foundation, but on this side it actually went on fine. So I don't know if maybe like I was pressing too hard, or there wasn't enough product. I don't know. And that's weird because this is the side that I don't have any primer on, and on the side that I do have primer on, it kind of was a little bit hard to blend without removing the product. I have to say that my first impressions are that I'm really impressed with how good this looks on my skin, and I also want to see how this primer works. First impressions, I really do like it, and I do see some differences with each side, but I feel like it's really going to show at the end of the day which side looks better once we've worn it for a good amount of hours. Because always the first hour it all looks amazing and beautiful and airbrushed, but it isn't until like the 5th hour where everything starts to really shine through and you get to see the trueness of the products. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day. I'm really excited to be wearing this. I feel like color-wise it's beautiful. It looks fantabulous right now, and I hope that it stays looking like this so that we can give this a good review, because this is a really good find at Sephora, very affordable find, and if we can find something affordable that works, I mean, why not, you know what I mean? So I will be back in a little bit, so stay tuned if you want to see if the Sephora 10-hour wear is worth the buy or not. Okay, so I am back after a long day. It is now 8:04 p.m. and it's been a long day. We've worn this from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. So that's a good amount of hours. And I think I have some really good thoughts on this foundation right here. As you can see, I want to start off by saying that it is very dewy. And to be honest, it looks equally as dewy. It looks equally as dewy. I'm gonna go ahead and blot it just a little bit to see if it like transfers off when I do blot it, if it still looks fresh. So once I blotted it off, some of the product did come off. In this area right here, the product is coming off a little bit. This area too a little bit, but I feel like it's more noticeable on this side, right here. So to be honest, I feel like the primer really didn't do anything. At the beginning, yes, you could see the big difference that it completely mattified this side of my face, but it literally looks exactly the same, and the product's still coming off. And I feel like if anything, the primer, because it was like so like thick and it just kind of locked it all in, I feel like it made the products on top, like the bronzer that you guys saw, kind of break apart a little bit. So I feel like this isn't worth it necessarily. I think this was like $16 or like $15. So I would say no. If you're looking for a true mattifying primer, no. But I do have to say, I do like how the foundation wore for a good 6 hours. I think it was around like 3 or 4 p.m. that it started to get a little bit dewy, but I still like the way that it was looking on the skin. It looked very nice and pretty, considering the fact that it was a more cheaper alternative at Sephora. So I was really impressed with that, but I feel like it's not the most long wearing foundation because some of it is definitely coming off. I would say that this is more of a foundation that I would put on if I have normal combo skin and dry skin. I feel like if you have really, really oily skin and you're looking for something that's gonna just stay in place completely and not get dewy throughout the day, I feel like you could probably use something better. But for the price, I think it's worth the $20. I do think that it will look really, really nice on somebody that has like normal to combination skin, especially because I feel like the finish, like overall in the beginning, was beautiful. Do I think that this is like game changer? I did at the beginning, to be honest. I thought it was gonna work out really, really well on my skin type, but clearly at the end of the day, I was looking pretty rough and the primer didn't do shit. So this sucks, but that's why we do these wear tests through the whole day, so that we can really see if this is going to be effective through everything. Because I feel like sometimes we try products and we just see how they look at the very beginning. We're like, oh my god, this is life-changing. But then it goes to hour 8 and we're just like, this looks disgusting. So I do have to say this is definitely not worth it in my opinion. I feel like you would find a much better primer that's for oily skin than this stuff. So save yourself the $15, $16. But I think this is worth a try for my people that have dry to combo skin. For my oily skin people, I don't know, it just really depends on if you want to look that oily or if you're going to be okay with blotting through the day and having some of the makeup be removed. I personally wouldn't. I'd rather wear something that I know is going to stay on and get a little bit less dewy. So those are my final thoughts. If you guys have tried the Sephora 10-hour wear foundation, then please let me know what you think of it. I would love to know your thoughts. And if you're planning on trying it, also let me know if you're going to be picking this up soon at the Sephora sale. I have a video coming up
really soon on my recommendations for the Sephora spring sale. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I would love for you to become a member of family here on YouTube so you wouldn't miss any of our videos for the world. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing Worth Buy or Nas. And if you guys want to be notified to watch my channels, then go ahead and hit that bell so that you receive a notification every time I upload, because I also wouldn't want you guys to miss my uploads as soon as they go live. So yes, I'll be seeing you guys very soon for a brand new video.